Okay. So welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us today for our NUCA-WINS launch. We're gonna just go ahead and jump right in and start with a message from NUCA National's very own CEO, Doug Carlson.
Great, and welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Today is a very exciting day, being September 1st at 2:02 p.m. is our official launch of a product called NUCA-WINS, which the WINS stands for the Workplace Incident Notification System. We believe this is going to be a great product for the industry, for our membership, for our chapters. It's a product that we believe is going to make our members more productive, more efficient, and most importantly, safer. A product that also is going to make our members money, which is what they love to do. This is a product that came out of, it's been about a 6 to 7 month process. This came out of our Damage Prevention Committee meeting in Tucson, Arizona at our national convention back in February, where the members really spoke to us and said, hey, we need a product that we can do that helps us identify and mark these claims for damage prevention and near misses and hits, and relay that data back to the DERPS process. And so we went immediately into searching for a partner to help us with that. And 6 months later, we are now happy to introduce NUCA-WINS, and we're excited about this launch. We're excited you can join us here today and make this a success. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll turn it back over to Meredith.
Great, thanks, Doug. So now I would like to turn it over to our strategic partners for the app, and Jim Messina is Compatica's Chief Marketing Officer. So go for it, Jim.
Great, and so great to hear and see everybody. We are going to go through a quick overview, and I may have to admit some people while I'm talking, so just indulge me if that occurs. So what I want to talk about is why NUCA-WINS. The fact is that many workplace incidents, whether they're injury, illness, utility strikes, are not recorded completely, and sometimes they're not recorded at all. And delays in reporting can stretch into days and even weeks. And countless studies have shown that these delays in complete incident reporting, claim processing, and resolution contribute directly to upward spiraling incident costs. Much of it could have been avoided with timely completion. And accurate and timely incident recording, they're the first and most valuable defenses against claim fraud, whether it be injury or property damage, and also against frivolous lawsuits. By documenting events right at the point of occurrence, organizations are able to repudiate potential future misrepresentations and falsifications. And by shifting to electronic real-time incident reporting, it eliminates mountains of paperwork. You don't want your desk looking like this, and it increases the accuracy and greatly simplifies the data collection and dissemination process. And in today's world, recording health events has become critically important, as OSHA has determined that workplace-originated COVID-19 infections are indeed recordable events. And importantly, the act of recording all these types of incidents right when they happen, whether it's injuries, for record only, near misses, observations, it helps instill and maintain a culture of safety, accountability, and awareness. It effectively means that you're recruiting all reporting employees as the eyes and ears of safety. And by leveraging smartphones, tablets, and cloud-enabled devices, all stakeholders involved are electronically engaged and may interact and deal with things as their duties require. This includes the immediate notifications on all incidents right when they're reported, ensuring that everyone's on the same page and that responses can be well coordinated. And all this means that issues are handled at the lowest level of the risk pyramid, and that results are dramatically improved in terms of risk management across the entire organization. And with its low subscription fee, NUCA-WINS delivers a great ROI. reducing the costs and risks associated with any one exception event, like some of those shown here, will more than pay for the cost of the application. So, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Adi Feinstein, who is our CEO of Compatica, and he will take us through the demo. Adi, over to you.
Thank you, Jim. Okay.
Yep.
Terrific. Well, hello everyone, and aloha to Hawaii as well. I'm Adi. I'm the CEO of Compatica, and before I start the demo, I just want to profusely thank the NUCA national team, Doug, Chris, Bob, and really above all Meredith, for the phenomenal work they have done in getting us to this point. You know, the membership and the executive directors on the call need to know that they have a phenomenal team leading this organization. So NUCA-WINS is comprised of two core components. One is the incident recorder, which is what you're seeing on the forefront of the screen in the form of my mirrored iPad. And on the back end is the incident manager, which is the secure, encrypted, cloud-based, browser-enabled manager for recorded incidents. In this presentation, we will take you through 3 or 4 samples of intakes using the device itself. So I'm logging on into NUCA-WINS. And the first incident that we will document is I will start a report of a utility strike. So I select that. The system wants to know if there's a specific employee involved, and in this case, there is none. The system will then go and, using networks and GPS, find my latitude, longitude, and document that. And now it's going to ask me which job am I on. So we're working on an office building in the lovely city of Durham. And we're working on the foundation. And in this instance, we're using a 210G John Deere excavator. So now I get to document a brief narrative describing core information about the incident. And to do that, since I have the benefit of using an iPad here, I will use the transcription device. We were excavating when we encountered an unmarked and unlocated natural gas line. It exploded upon contact and a small fire started, period. So a quick summary of what exactly happened. There'll be room later for more detail. And now we can enter some information that much of it feeds the DIRT report, and some of it stays back as identified data to help, I guess, defend, protect the contractor from potential predatory claims. So this was a damage event. The utility strike was natural gas. Was it marked correctly? No, it was not. Was it in the tolerance zone? No. What was our distance from the mark? And I'm going to put in some figures here. Depth, again, add some more information. So you see there's a variety of questions here. Is there a locate ticket number? Absolutely. Let me put the number in. Yes, it's current. And so on, additional information. Who's the utility? Did we call 911? We're going to say yes. Let's just also select how many downtime hours we resulted. And we're going to say 8. And we're going to say that a crew size of 5. So this is, I've entered some information, not all of it, but very quick to process. Notice that as the user navigates through the system, you see there's a navigation bar on top, and that prompts the user as to what the next step is. NUCA-WINS is fundamentally a menuless system, so the operators, the supervisors, whoever does the intake does not have to remember how to use it, the system will prompt them for the next step. And indeed, the next step here is statements. So we will now enter a more robust statement describing what exactly transpired. We were excavating in the foundation area when the John Deere excavator struck an unmarked, unlocated natural gas line, period. There was a small explosion and a fire, period. I moved the crew back 300 yards and called 811 and 911, period. So very easy to enter, record, document that way. You can also take pictures or add pictures that are existing in your device already. Maybe you took them when they occurred, as we did. So for example, here's one picture, one image of the strike itself. And let's add another picture. Let's also add one of the work environment. But there's no limit on the number of images one can add in the documentation process. And we see users with, 10, 20, 30 images documenting a utility strike as needed. Lastly, we can also interview a witness. And in this instance, we will use a audio recorder, which is very helpful when you're documenting information intake from employees for whom English may not be their primary language. So this is going to be a straight recording. I was walking about 50 yards in front of the excavator when suddenly I heard a large boom. I turned around and I saw flames. I guess we hit a gas line, but there were no markings of it. The locator didn't set anything. The boss moved us to the other side of the road, and then the fire department came, and we didn't get any work done that day. Okay, so again, you can collect as many witness statements, employee statements, images, recordings, whatever is needed. Once you are done, you can go to the summary. The summary is both a summary and a navigational device. One can, for example, tap and say, oh, I got the wrong piece of equipment. It's really the 315. So let's take that instead. Go back to the summary. Everything is good. We hit submit. And now a very cool thing. The entire intake will occur regardless of whether your device is online or not. Very often we find ourselves on job sites that's just out of a cell tower reach. That's okay. Everything is collected. And once the device finds itself back online, it will handshake with the cloud system and upload the data. So this is an example of a quick, not very
Did we lose audio there?
Okay, I for some reason it dropped my audio. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize for that. I have no idea what that was. If it happens again, I'll just, jump to something else in 2 seconds. Okay, so that was an example of a utility strike, quick data collection. Let's show you a different thing now. Let's show you how we document an injury. So same process. We go and select the injured employee. With here, we can also hit a tab and get additional information about them. For example, in this case, we're looking for their emergency contact information. That's all available to the supervisor on site. Select that. Next. Again, same process. It finds the coordinates of where we are. Same job, same place, and no particular equipment on that. Okay. So what's the injury? So in this case, this is going to be a left arm, left hand laceration. Actually, it was probably more like a bruise. There we go. Employee put hand under shovel blade while digging, cutting the back of his hand. Now you can have multiple injuries in the same. You can have multiple injuries in the same event. You can also have illnesses. Maybe at the same time they also became nauseous or got a headache. You can add all these things in very easily. This is where we get the employee to sign off, where they can confirm that indeed this was the extent of their injuries. This is very important in downstream fraud prevention. Was first aid given? I can say yes. And let's say I was there. So I provided, I guess I applied a bandage. So that's good. Is further medical attention required? We're going to say yes. We can send them to a hospital or to a clinic. This is not yellow pages. These are the clinics that are on the organization's approved roster of care providers. In this case, we're going to grab the nearest one, which is Duke Urgent Care. There's little information if needed. Also, if company policy requires an escort, we can select one. Again, we ask the employee to sign and accept the care provider, and we ask the employee to sign a medical information release authorization. All done directly from the supervisor or operator's smartphone or tablet. NUCA-WINS works with both Android and Apple iOS devices. Let's record some statements quickly. So, employee was digging with a short shovel when he put his hand under the blade to clear some dirt. It slipped and bruised the back of his hand, period. Employee was not wearing work gloves at the time, period. Okay, quick intake from the supervisor. Supervisor can also, again, add images. We can grab an image, for example, previously taken of the injury itself. If you want, I can actually go and circle exactly, highlight where the bruise itself is. Done. We can also take a picture in real time, and this is my non-injured, fake, bandaged hand. Again, we can accept that and upload it. We can now go and obtain a statement from the employee. And again, we'll use the audio feature for that. I was digging with a soft shovel. I was soft digging with a shovel when it got stuck in some dirt. So I put my hand under it to clear it, and it was really greasy and it slipped. Nobody cleans the tools when they're done, and I cut my hand and I can't work today, and I got to go see a doctor. Okay, naturally, your mileage will differ in what people document, but again, collect all the information you want, make sure it's all good, submit it, done. This is a huge advance in documentation over paper forms and such. Provides great accuracy and very great timeliness. I will switch over quickly to my email account, and you will see here that as these events are documented, the proper people are getting notifications, their choice of email or text messaging or both. And you can see here, I just got a message. I'm the safety manager. I just got a message that Doug Carlson is reporting that this employee is injured, and there's even a link here where I can tap on it and drill down and see all the detailed information that's created. So that's the injury report. Let me show you now very quickly an example of a straight safety observation. And this is very, very quick. You already know how the system works. We don't have to discuss all these features. So we'll just walk through this. It's all happening at the same job site, this particular excavator. And here the situation is Excavator is leaking hydraulic fluid from the front left cylinder. Okay, I'm a very thorough person, so I even want to use an image of this. Here's a picture of the problematic piece of equipment. Done. Next. Submit. Done. So you see in 30 seconds or less, you can record information from the job site. Could be safety related, equipment related, damage that you want to report, anything like that goes and generates all that. The last thing on our agenda here in the demo is a feature that we've recently added, unfortunately, because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have added the capability to conduct fit for work screenings. So we will run a quick screening on employee Matt Lowry. Again, here's my, and maybe this actually was at NUCA headquarters. Next, and this is a pre-shift screening. So we're documenting his temperature. It's 100.7. I'm sorry. Enter here. It's 100.7. My apologies. Apply. No, he's not impaired. Was he exposed to COVID-19? Yes, he was. Does he have any symptoms? Fever. No physical issues. Is he fit for work? No. Next. I can do a very quick statement. Employee showed up with a fever and told me that he has a cousin living at his house who is COVID-19 positive, period. I deemed the employee not fit for work. He is going home and will check in with the family doctor, period. Next, done, okay, done. So this is a great mechanism in NUCA-WINS to do very quick fit for work. It doesn't have to be COVID related, of course. Are they impaired before the shift starts? Do they have any doctor's orders to not be there? You can document and track all of this as part of what the application does. So again, we're very excited about this strategic partnership with NUCA. We look forward to answering all your questions on this and to assisting you and your members in their mission. Meredith?
Thank you, Jim and Addie, so much. We're gonna move right along and hear a message from someone that I think you will all recognize. Just gonna take the wheel real quick. And we're going to be hearing from Kara Haybrock, who is NUCA's former chairwoman of the board, and she's also an inaugural NUCA-WINS user. So we're going to go ahead and hear about her experience.
Hi, I'm Kara Haybrock, president of LG Rollout Construction in Omaha, Nebraska. NUCA asked me to be a part of the launch of NUCA-WINS because we've been using the app, formerly known as the Compatica app, since early in 2020. We're really excited that NUCA has been able to work with Compatica to customize the app, and we're looking forward to getting ours converted over to NUCA-WINS very shortly. So a little bit about our experience with Compatica. Like I said, we rolled it out early in 2020. I was glad that we got on it early in the year. We were able, before COVID hit, to gather all of our managers and frontline supervisors together and roll out the app, download it to all their phones and iPads, go through step-by-step training with it, and it was very well received. It was easy for even the most technologically challenged people to understand. It's a very intuitive and logical application, and that's what I really like about it. There's a progress bar at the top, and you understand what the next step is in the process to get the claim moving, or the documentation moving. So that was really helpful. A lot of times apps can be very intimidating. Our supervisors are always saying things like, I got enough to do without having to learn all this technology. And for them, it actually has made their job easier. We do have a full-time safety manager, and he uses it a lot. I use it a lot as well, as does our HR manager. We're fortunate that we have that full-time safety person who can go out when there might be a utility damage claim or a employee injury or some other incident. I would say the safety manager, myself, and the HR manager, we use it the most. But every supervisor has it, as does our project managers, and they are using it. They sometimes our safety manager can't get there, and so they are going to be the first person to document the incident that happened. They are using the observation tool for things really not related to utility hits or injuries. They're using it for things like vandalism that might have occurred to our equipment overnight. They might be using it because a resident on one of the projects that we're working on says, hey, your truck backed into my mailbox or something like that. It can be used for a number of things. They are even starting to record equipment damage with it. So when maybe an operator has abused a piece of equipment and they need to record that for training and also performance review purposes, they have photos of it. Even maintenance, not just damage, but maintenance. You know, maybe there's something loose or something wrong with something on a piece of equipment. They can use that app to document that. It opens up an observation, and then we notify our maintenance shop that, hey, there's an issue with this one that you might need to go look at. So we've been just kind of playing with it this year. We tell our people it's a tool in your toolbox. Please use it, you know, we hope that it grows in use. The more you use it, the more you want to use it, type of thing. We don't have a quota or anything like that, but we hope that as we get more experience with it, that we'll continue to grow what we are putting into the NUCA-WINS system. We are probably more organized and more efficient this year with claim handling than we've ever been. Like I said, mostly it's me, my safety manager, and our HR manager using it. But before we had this app, we would all be going out and getting documentation on things, witness statements, Form 50s, photographs, things like that. And maybe different people had different pieces of that. So when it came time to talk with the insurance company or do a first report of injury or, you know, talk with someone who was making a claim, we had to pull information from all these different places, and it was kind of a nightmare. Oh, this photo's on my phone and that statement's on so-and-so's iPad, or we had a ton of hard copies and there were just files everywhere. So this is really consolidated things. I love having everything in one place. There's great reporting in it. I'm still getting used to how to use those, but it's been really, really good so far. So it's kind of been a game changer for us. And I would tell you that we got this just in time. We have had 14 not at fault utility damage hits this year. Maybe that's not a lot for a lot of my NUCA friends, but for us, that's quite a few. And documenting the utility damage claims when we're not at fault is always been a challenge for us. And now we have been able to, you know, get the information, get the photos, tie the photos, fill out the complaint form at the state level for our process that we follow for, you know, a complaint of a facility owner. And we've just gotten a lot more efficient. And I know everyone in NUCA understands the power of and the importance of notifying it when the facility owners don't do their part. So that's just been our experience so far with NUCA-WINS. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. But I would encourage you to give it a try. I always say you don't know until you try. And I'm really glad that we tried NUCA-WINS. Thanks.
Okay. And now we are going to be hearing from Brenda Regal, who is NUCA's Executive Director for the state of Pennsylvania. So Brenda, when you're ready, you can take it away.
So basically, I was asked today to talk about damage prevention and NUCA-WINS and the importance of the data, the damage prevention and the role that NUCA-WINS will play. So for those of you who aren't familiar, the Common Ground Alliance, I'm going to use the acronym CGA, was created in the year 2000. And NUCA's been involved since day one. I've been active with the Pennsylvania CGA representatives from the beginning. I've worked tirelessly to add mismarked and near misses to the DIRT report. A few years ago, these items were included. It took us a long time to get there, but we finally got there. NUCA-PA also worked to streamline the reporting process among the various entities asking for information from contractors, such as, well, we asked for information from contractors on the DIRT report for one call centers and enforcement. All three of those entities each wanted their own individual reports. And it was just like, oh my gosh, who has the time to do that? And so we actually were able to streamline it when we changed our enforcement agency. So while we've been successful at the table, the Common Ground Alliance is utility owner weighted and reporting is not mandatory. The facility owners have a higher staff ratio compared to contractors. Thus, their reporting numbers are significantly higher than that of contractors. I think our slides demonstrate that. In 2018, Pennsylvania started mandatory reporting, and our data is changing the numbers in favor of contractors reporting mismarks, near misses, and hits. So Meredith, can you flip the slide for me since I'm not in control? Sorry.
If it's the correct one?
Yes.
Okay.
So data collection by contractors will paint a true picture for our industry that we've never really had before. This is an actual site picture from a job site in eastern Pennsylvania that we use on almost all of our brochures and literature that we use for lobbying purposes. It's real easy for legislators to see that it was clearly off the mark. So you can go to the next slide. So the objective of NUCA-WINS data is threefold. And this is how the contractor wins. You're going to get better locates that will improve the public and employee safety, as well as increase your contractor's production. You're going to see timely reporting with good documentation by the field crew and finalized by the contractor safety director that will provide a better defense for your alleged violations. And number three, it'll promote the use of subsurface utility engineering in the design phase, along with delay claims that is at both at the CGA and state levels, which a lot of us do not have. There are some states that get downtime. A sweet name for downtime in this proposal that we're looking to try to do at CGA is delay claims. It's a little bit different in every state, but it's better than $0 at all. So we're going to basically try to focus this on and use the same process that's already there. So it's a little harder for legislators to argue. So the Federal Highway Administration, they conducted a study in 1999. They used Purdue University to do the study, and they determined that the cost savings when utilities are located, mapped, and relocated prior to the construction phase adds up to about, for every $1 spent on SUE, it was a $4.62 in savings. That sounds like, you know, that's not that great, but when you're talking big highway projects, that's pretty significant. So Meredith, if you can jump ahead 2 slides for me, I'd appreciate that because I got to back you up then. One more. I think it should be one more. Sorry. There we go. That one.
Oh, here.
The Penn State. There we go. So
Okay.
if you can look at this one, in Pennsylvania, our DOT did a study with Penn State University, and they conducted a study. And in their recent study, they found for every $1 spent on SUE, the cost savings in the construction phase was $22.21. So the goal now for us as an industry is to push for SUE at the local government level. So the federals have it, the state transportations have it, but we haven't moved it down to the local level, and that's where we want to start going. If you can go back a slide there. I just wanted to show you what we did in Pennsylvania is we were able to include the language for subsurface utility engineering in our law. So NUCA wins, you win. And I just wanted to share this information because key words here is sufficient and properly that are shown here on this slide. I have them in green. Those key words are what I call soft words. And soft words are things that, because you can't specifically say, you have to find the exact location, so you make it as sweet as you can. We fought really hard to keep that language. They tried to take those two words out, and you know, you have to do some lobbying tricks that you do, but we managed to keep that in. So if you want to go back to the last slide then for me, Meredith, yeah, right there. At the very bottom of this last slide, I just wanted to share one last thing with you. Your state revolving loan finance agency should finance design phase SUE costs. If you don't know if yours does, it's real easy to find out. Here in Pennsylvania, ours is called PennVest, but your chapter could contact your finance agency. And that state revolving loan finance money, that's the money that comes down that NUCA lobbies for, Ebbins out, and Zach are out lobbying for right now to get. That's the money, it comes down to your state and goes into a state agency. So you can contact that state agency, find out if they're willing to fund subsurface utility engineering. You may need some documentation. I have it all. Don't go out searching for it. I will be happy to share all of it. And you can ask them to fund that SUE cost in the design phase and try to get them to do that. I do have a letter that we sent to ours. I'll be happy to share that as well. So pretty much when we can get this moved into subsurface utility engineering in the design phase, our equipment is moving in that direction. We're getting new technology. We're going to have people not working actually in a physical piece of equipment. They'll be working at command centers and operating equipment. I have a video from one who's in one country and he's operating a piece of equipment in another country. That's where our stuff is going. So to continue doing locates at the tail end of construction is we just can't keep going in that direction. So SUE is our answer. The data collected makes NUCA-WINS. Data makes you win as a contractor. In the end, it is the best way to go, and it gives us the documentation that we've never had before. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Brenda. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just switch gears into my slides because I am up next, and I know that we are coming down on time, so I'm gonna be nice and brief. I'm going to be, my name, in case you don't know, my name is Meredith, and I manage member services here at NUCA National, and I'm just going to go through with you, some pieces of, some ways to communicate NUCA-WINS to the membership. So first, we've got logos, we have brochures, we have flyers, we have plans to continue to make these items and materials. You can use these for your emailers, newsletters, social media messages, or handouts for packets for events. So if you need any of these files, just let me know and I will get them to you. In terms of messaging, we wanted to suggest that we hit on a few key areas for it. First being, please go ahead and steal NUCA National's messaging. If you see something on social media that you want to share, you can share it, you can copy paste it, you can just gather an idea from it, but go ahead and look to NUCA National for that. We're suggesting that maybe you have a weekly message, something that you schedule out, or you can do monthly. We're also suggesting that maybe hitting the holidays is a great time to form some special messaging for NUCA-WINS as well, such as something like, give your team the gift of efficiency in 2021 with NUCA-WINS, something like that. We are also at NUCA National, we are rebranding Wednesdays as NUCA-WINS Days, and that's going to be a day where we share a factoid, an anecdote, something pertaining to, risk mitigation, costs, cost savings associated with the app. So again, our chapters are welcome to jump on that bandwagon as well. And then also we have our nifty little hashtags here. These are, the more obvious ones, but let's make a habit of using some of those when we are referring to NUCA-WINS. Now I would like to take you to the NUCA-WINS website, because obviously our members are going to need somewhere to go when they want to access a subscription to this app. So let's say our members are looking at this on a mobile device. They can download it in the Apple App Store or on Google Play right away. If you move down a little bit further, there's a description of the tool. They can kind of see what it looks like. The further down we go, you'll see that they will be able to access the NUCA-WINS brochure. Another really awesome feature to let them know about is the return on investment calculator. And this is where members can learn more about how NUCA-WINS can help mitigate situational costs, so they can play around with that, see what that's going to look like for them. As we scroll even further down, here you'll see the general annual costs that members will probably be asking about, and then a link to subscribe to NUCA-WINS. So once the member goes to subscribe, we can, where'd I go? Yep. Once they go to subscribe, they will be contacted by Jim or Addie, and we want to encourage you to encourage the members to take their call. If members have any additional questions or concerns, if they want a private demonstration similar to what you all have seen today, I'm happy to work to arrange those. And if you would like to grab my contact information for that, you can take a screenshot. You can find me on the NUCA staff webpage of our website. And I think that will be it. So go ahead and remember to remind your members to take Jim and Addie's call and contact us for help, and enjoy this wonderful application. All right, and I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Jim or Addie. I think I'm sorry, to Doug, to wrap us up.
Thank you, Meredith and Jim and Addie and Brenda, and also Kara digitally for exposing this great product to our members, and also to all of our executive directors and chapters. We kind of have a mixture of members as well as executive directors on the call, so a little bit of different flavor for depending on what your audience is. But as Meredith said, contact us for more information. We're very happy to get it to you. Go to NUCA-WINS.com. That is the primary website for all the information. And we can do private demos for you, or if you want to do a demo for just your company too. So, but again, we think it's a great product for the industry, for our membership. It's greatly known or named as NUCA-WINS because it does provide a win for the NUCA member, contractors, and the industry. Win for the NUCA National and our chapters, providing us a product to promote recruitment and retention, as well as provide a member benefit. And then, but most appropriately, on our Labor Day week, it's a win for our members' most valuable asset, and that is their workforce. Providing a safer avenue. Again, there's so much to do in this app that we couldn't even get to, as far as toolbox safety talks and documentation. So there's a lot more to do with it that we couldn't give you in this quick hour. But again, please reach out to us. We're excited about this new product, and with that, I think we are complete. We are going to, this was recorded, so we're going to edit it and get it out to all the chapters, and we'll probably also post it on the NUCA-WINS site as well. So thanks everybody for attending. Meredith, anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thanks everyone for joining.
Great. Have a great
Thanks,
day.
everyone.